Hi, my name is Leslie Canarium, and I'm Reader Conversations Librarian here at the Rogers Public Library. Our Adult Take It Make It kit project for May is spring cards. I experimented with several different ways that you could decorate these cards for spring, or maybe you have some other holiday coming up that you'd want to give someone a card, or maybe just you want to make something nice for yourself. Anyway, the way I've come up with is probably the easiest and the most foolproof, and it's also very, very flexible and open to all sorts of alterations, so I think you'll enjoy it. In your kit, you will get cardstock like this. You can fold it, or I suppose you can just keep it open and make a nice single poster size design, but let's make this a card. You'll get a little bottle of food coloring. It probably won't look quite like this. You'll get a small sponge to work with. Yours will not be covered with paint color, but once it is, don't worry, it still works fine. And you'll get a couple of small stencils like this. They'll all have different designs on them to give you some sort of flexibility with what you want to do. You will definitely want something you can cover your work surface with, just so you don't stain your nice table. Masking tape is always really helpful when you're working with stencils. You'll want little cups, water, and scissors, pencil, pen, anything like that. You can also, if you remember our last project, we made the designer bubble paper. And I told you to hang on to that if you didn't know what to do with it, because I had a project in mind. Well, this is the project in mind. So I've got the bubble paper I made last time, and I'm going to show you how you can incorporate that. You'll also might need glue, pen, anything else you want to decorate. But even without any of the extra decorative stuff, you'll be able to make a perfectly lovely card. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with the extra stuff, just because this is a kind of card I want to build up with in layers. If you didn't save your bubble paper, that's fine. You can also use any other decorative paper you have, or just even a different color paper that you might have around. Newspaper could be very interesting, or you don't have to use anything if you don't want. But I'm going to take this bubble paper I made, and I'm going to make a circle design with it. And look, I just happen to have a handy circle pattern here with my masking tape. You can do other simple shapes. You can see I have a nice design right here. And I'm going to write a message on that, which just happens to match the stencils that I ended up with. You can write any message you want, or you can write them directly onto the card. A little glue on there, glue it into place. Doesn't have to be perfectly centered. I've got these stencils. I can use them just once, or I can repeat the patterns. But what I do want to do is tape them into place just so they don't wobble around. You do want to use masking or washi tape for this. If you use regular adhesive tape, you might end up tearing your paper. And I'm going to take my food coloring. So I'm going to add just a few drops of food coloring and just the merest drop of water. We don't want too much. Just sort of swirl that around. You can see that makes it pretty blue. And dip my sponge in there. And holding your stencil in place, because you don't want it to leak underneath, though if it does a little bit, it's not a big, huge problem. Just daub it on top of your stencil there. You don't want to stroke, because if you stroke, you're much more likely to get it underneath the edges of the stencil, and you won't have the nice crisp lines. You have your own food coloring at home. You could add a drop of another color at this point, like maybe some red to make purple or yellow to make green, or you could just go over with another layer in spots, just so you have a different intensity of color, but just use a very light hand. So I'm just going to have a little bit darker blue in spots, just to give it a nice old-fashioned, very free-handed look here. And then if you're a patient person, you could just wait for it to dry. But we all know that I'm not a patient person, so I'm just going to take the dry end of my sponge and dab that up. Oh, well, still leaked a little, but that's okay. It's still pretty. I'm going to take these stencils and wash them so I can use them for another project or another card. And there you go. We have this lovely butterfly card. We also have another one that I made ahead of time. And you can go back afterwards with a marking pen, add some more decorations once everything's dry, and put your message inside. And then you'll stick it in the envelope that's also included in your kit and mail it off, and you'll make someone's day. And that's it for me until the fall. But that doesn't mean we're going to stop having crafts for adults. During the summer reading program, we'll have a whole bunch of kits full of crafts and other fun things to do for adults that you can pick up at the library.